It's ALCS time, and the Cleveland Indians are taking on the Boston Red Sox in Game 5 of the ALCS in Fenway. The Indians are down by a series score of 3-1, as they have just not been able to perform in the American League Championship Series after dominating pretty much the Tigers in 4 games in the division series. They have a real chance to blow it right here. So let's see if they are going to be able to win or not. Corey Kluber had a good Ks per 9 throughout the playoffs, but he's just given up way too many hits, and a lot of runners are scoring. Joe Kelly is making his first start of these playoffs, and we'll see what the Indians are going to put out on the field for today. As you can see, Ben Revere is leading off, Jason Kipnis in the tool. All our hitters are really hitting except for Moss and Francisco Lindor, but we just have not been able to score enough runs to offset the poor pitching performances throughout the playoffs. Joe Kelly on the mound. He has struggled in his Red Sox career since coming over to from the Cardinals, but we'll see if he can come through in the playoffs for them in a pivotal game that can send Boston back to the World Series for the first time since 2013 when they won it all. And we are going to start the game off with a walk from Ben Revere, and then Michael Brantley would join him in drawing a walk. And then the next batter after that, Yan Gomes, is just going to fly out. So we waste 2 base runners on 2 walks here in the first inning. We're going to look at what John Farrell's Red Sox are going to be. Mookie Betts is leading off. Joe Panik struggling in that 2-hole. Hanley Ramirez is another struggling hitter. And Dion Viciedo continues to be very good in these playoffs. 273 average after hitting below 250 the entire season. And Corey Kluber had a great regular season, but he's given up almost a run per inning in these playoffs. So we'll see if he can turn it around in a big-time game for the Indians tonight. They really need their ace to come through, and we are going to see what happens here. So we're in the bottom of the first inning, a 3-2 count, 1 out, and Joe Panik continues to struggle. He swings through that slider right there. And the game was relatively quiet. We're going to be here a little bit later, and David Ortiz takes this one into right field, home run. And the game does not start out well for the Indians as they give up a run right there. It's David Ortiz again, of course. You know, I can never get David Ortiz out. But, you know, nothing you can do about that if you're Corey Kluber. You just got to pick it up and move on. And we would go a couple innings later. I believe this is the 4th inning now. No outs, 1-1 count. And that is going to be a single up the middle. And so the Boston Red Sox get a runner right here. And then the next batter is Dustin Pedroia, and he's going to take this one out into deep right field. Could be going for a home run. No, it's going to bounce out, but it did hit the ground first, and so it is a ground rule double. And then here you got some situational hitting by David Ortiz, as he is going to sac fly this one into deep right field, and it is going to be caught by Nava, but it is going to move both runners, dragging one across the plate for a run. And then another great piece of situational hitting right here by the Boston Red Sox as there's another sac fly. So 2 sac flies for the Boston Red Sox, and they have a 3-0 lead now, and that would take that pretty much into the bottom of the 9th. The Indians got pretty much no opportunities until the bottom of the 9th when Ben Revere would draw a leadoff walk in the bottom of the 9th inning, or the top of the 9th inning, excuse me. Joe Kelly allowed 7 base runners all game through 8 innings, so had a pretty good start to the night. And then we would get 2 base runners on here, so there's runners on first and second, but Brandon Moss would strike out here in a very important spot, and that will give the Indians no outs to work with. They have to get a hit or a ball in play here, and they're not going to get it. As Giovanni Urshela grounds out a nice jump throw from Dustin Pedroia, and the Boston Red Sox are headed to the World Series, and the Indians are headed for a heartbreaking offseason. That's going to wrap up Season 1 of Cleveland Indians Baseball. Glad I could share it with you. Look out for the offseason in the next coming days. Congratulations to the American League champion Boston Red Sox as they played a great series against the Cleveland Indians, and we hope that they can represent the AL in winning the World Series. That's going to wrap this up for me. Thank you guys for watching, everyone, and stay tuned for more Cleveland Indians Baseball on the show.